Yes, sir. We are back. What's going on, Tank Mike? What it do?
Hey, what's going on, Essex O'Brien, actor man? Essex, how's it going, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How was your week?
Eventful, brother. First week at the new job, it was good, man. Just hanging in there. I'm trying to get the right angle here on the camera. I
Oh,
got you there.
you good?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man, good. Eventful at the job. First week, man, all went well. Met a lot of stars in the first week. Did good,
Mhm.
man. From the voice, Cassandra Lewis actually works for her. She has her own show, Context.
How's she
James
doing,
John.
man? I know she recently had a loss, man. I know she hanging in there.
Yeah, she was doing good. It seems like they just buried her mother over the weekend. I saw pictures on the social media.
Yeah.
So she was hanging in there, man. She was in good spirits. Um, so it was cool. I got to see Superman James John in person.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Man,
the
James.
gentleman. Oh yeah, big man who shows I'm gonna be on. Shouts out to producer director Mike Hurley. Man, team is tight, brother. You know what I'm saying? On paper we look good. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
got to
Oh,
produce
yeah,
now. So I can't wait to, man, just put those creative minds to work and do what we do.
yeah, I can't wait to see y'all get to work, man. It's good to see people that I know, that I've known for a while, getting that thing going, getting things building. Quick side note, man, me and Cassandra go way back to my former days. She was one of my clients when I was
Oh,
a financial consultant with Mutual of Omaha. So I remember she used to perform live out there at City Walk.
GT, City Walk,
Yeah,
Universal.
I felt like a big consultant to the stars one day. I had to go out there and do a meeting with her in the band. I felt big time, man.
Oh,
So every time I see
big
her, she
bro.
says, has such positive things to say because she knows she's one of the few people that actually, dealt with me when I was in that life and then seeing me transition into what I do now. So we always have a pleasant experience when we see each other, man. So I'm glad to hear that she's doing well considering her loss. So
Oh,
that's good.
absolutely, man. She's got her own show now, so she's not on the Point of View no more. She's on a new show called Context,
Yeah.
where she's the host, and it's just her.
I
So
hope
I'll
she get
definitely let her know.
I hope she get to sing on her show like Kelly Clarkson does, because she's a way better singer than Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, I'm not touching that, bro. I'm not here to judge that. She's a very talented singer, though. I will give her credit. But I'll let her know that you reached out to say hello,
Yeah.
and tomorrow when I see her. Good times, man. Just getting over. Like I had the little bug. Everybody caught the little bug over the last few days. So I'm just kind of getting over that. Oh yeah, feel kind of a little bit of a hair, but not a lot. So
How many
better
how
than
many Rona jokes did you get when you told people you had to look up? I know people was like, it
at
ain't the
least
Rona, is it?
three. At least three new jokes I wrote in the last couple of days about the Rona. Your appetite go and come. It's oh yeah, but I don't think I had the Rona.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just messing with you.
yeah, I think I had a bug. But anyway, you start Googling. That's funny, right? You start Googling all the different home remedies.
Yeah.
So somebody goes, kosher dill pickles and drink the juice. So you know me,
Man,
I'm halfway on drugs because I'm on the Dayquil and the NyQuil and the Sudafed and the Mucinex and all of that. I go and get a jar of dill pickles and I eat them and I'm full. I'm like, I can't drink the juice. I don't
listen,
think you're supposed to do it all in one sitting.
listen. Growing up in Miami, they used to tell you to go pick some seed off the fence and boil it up and drink that and all this crazy stuff, man. Give me this stuff that'll knock me out so that my body can do what it do while I'm asleep, and then I'm
Right.
good, man. But yeah. Hey, we got people coming in. We want to say thank you. Welcome to Acting Funny. Put your comments in the page. We about to get right into the shits. We ain't gonna waste too much time.
We
just
about to shit tonight.
Come in and get comfortable, get you some drinks. So just to set the scene for those who might be joining, maybe you saw the promo, maybe you didn't. There's a viral video going on right now. It's about 2 million views at this point, bro. I did my homework. About 2 million views from this man. I just heard of him because of this. His name's Kevin Samuels. He has a YouTube show, and he's an image consultant and dating expert and businessman, business expert, whatever. But his video where he's talking to this woman who, and we might play a little bit of it, I'm just gonna set the table real quick. She's calling into his show. She called him asking about how she can find a 6-figure man. She lived, six-figure man, and she's in North Carolina. She makes 6 figures herself, so that's her main criteria apparently for getting a man. And he pretty much told her some things that she necessarily didn't want to hear, and apparently a lot of women don't like to hear. So I'm gonna toss it to you right quick because we talked about it offline. What was your initial reaction when you saw that video? What up, Coach? Homeboy Kyle.
What up, Kyle? What's happening, man? Originally, when I saw it, I thought he might have been a bit harsh, but he's in Atlanta, so, and I don't want to say he's alternative lifestyle, but I think that may be why it appeared harsh. He may just be, feminine type dude, but he just kind of came off a little alternative lifestyle to me. And generally they kind of direct. And so Buddy was direct. I don't feel like he was harsh, but he was definitely direct. But she wasn't listening to him. So I think once he got the point across 2 or 3 times, he pointed out why he backed up his point. This is why you're not, this is why you're not, and this is why you're not. But I think what women miss is what his point was. $1 million dudes ain't looking for $1 million chicks. He's not looking for competition. He's looking for the arm piece. Like, he don't want you to make all the money like him because then you kind of run the joint. And unfortunately, men, we about ego a lot of times. Very seldom do you come across a man that's not. He is metrosexual. That's funny, Kyle. Very seldom do you come across a man that's, kind-hearted like that. You got to that point by cutting throats, get to that level. Are you inheriting it? If you black though, you done made a whole bunch of moves to get 6 figures. Or you done put yourself in position to do it. So a single man, millionaire, he won't.
Just for the sake of being 6 figures. So we're just for the sake of being relative to the video. We'll just say that.
All right, six figure man.
Once you get over $1 million, now it's a whole different conversation. But 6 figures, I think people can work with that.
Okay, but if you 6 figures and I'm 6 figures, not you, but if a woman is 6 figures and I'm 6 figures, and it's a double standard, even if I'm 6 figures, divorced with kids, I can still go pull a 25, 27, 29-year-old, 30-year-old in their prime.
Yeah.
And I ain't got to be the best looking guy. Yeah. I can still go because there's a big gap between the 6-figure people and the $45,000, $50,000, $55,000 people. There's a big gap. Yeah. There's a couple people in that 75, 80 range, but you got to work a couple of different jobs and do a couple of different things. But really, when you legitimately 6 figures for one job, you've been there, you stressed out. You don't want to be arguing with no 35-year-old. And I love y'all ladies, but y'all get opinionated. The older you get opinionated. And if I make 6 figures, I don't want to hear it. Hey, I don't want to hear it. And when I come home, cook something. You got to be more than just fine. Fine ain't it no more. Everybody cute.
And we'll get to that in a second, because the whole fine and how her attraction level was a big debate on social media as well. My perspective on it when I first saw it, first of all, I laughed real hard. I laughed real hard. And I'll tell you why. I will disagree slightly. I didn't pick up on any homosexual or alternative lifestyle ways. I just thought that he was a guy who was arrogant and had probably had some success with women, and that fueled his arrogance. And I think for me, he told her the truth. And like you said, I agree with your point, what you said. He was trying to be polite, because if you go watch the video, and by the way, if you guys haven't watched the video, it's not hard to find. I posted it earlier on our page and my page, so you can go watch it and judge for yourself. He was trying to be polite. He was like, "Ma'am, don't make me say it. Please don't make me say it." But like you said, she was a little thick. And
Right.
I've had experience with dealing with women like that. When you don't tell a woman what she wants to hear,
Yeah.
it becomes very difficult to continue to have a conversation with her. And so he got kind of impatient with her because she wasn't listening to what he was saying, and she was trying to re-ask the question, and he was telling her the truth. Especially when you lead with $100,000 or up, that's telling me your sole purpose is to find a man that can help enhance your life or take pressure off your life or even take care of you, because you're putting that before compatibility. You're putting that before chemistry. You're even putting that before looks. So are you telling people that you would settle for a guy that's ugly that you don't get along with just because he want to be with you because he got $100,000? That's a turn off is there. So he was being patient with her. But what a lot of women don't understand is when men hear that and you're not already what we consider a 10, we looking at it like you wrong in the head anyway. Like your priorities are wrong just because you're just looking at my pocketbook, my wallet. You know what I'm saying? And that's always going to put you off on the wrong foot. I don't care how much money a man has, because in his mind now you're somebody to be bought and sold, because if the next man come along and he got more money than me, you're going to be looking at getting with him. That's just how it processes. So I thought I laughed, but then I was like, "Yeah, you told the truth, man." And I showed it to my wife.
The reason
you gotta,
I came to the alternative lifestyle conclusion because I looked at other videos. He also has a video where he's talking to a 20-year-old man, and like, bro, you make less than $1,000 a week. Did you see that one? You make less than $1,000 a month. I think he said, "You 20, you're 5'9", and you're 275 pounds. You better have a big penis." Do you have a big penis? He told, "Do you have a big penis?" It's bigger than normal. No, do you have a big penis? But it was like,
I would have liked to hear that video in
contrast,
because I don't know what the guy was asking. I guess maybe he was asking why he can't get a woman or why women don't like him.
Why women ain't hollering at him? And,
what man don't know? And see, this goes back to with the young lady too. You know, as men, we're judged all the time. You know what I'm saying? Women say all the time, "I want 6 foot this, I want in shape, I want a certain level of education." Women level set their expectations and wants for us all the time. But when we do it to them, it's a problem. And it works both ways, because a man know, hey, because we deal with rejection, I think, more often than women do, because we're the ones that normally have to make the first move and, set everything up. So we done been rejected by the 9s and the 10s. We know, so we kind of get a feel for what our lane is early on. And then when you start putting money into the equation, when a person thinks you got money, now that changes the perception. So we're very aware of what we can pull based on what we do, what we wear. If you throw on a nice suit, you're going to get looks, you're going to get flirted with, you're going to get all of that. But if you're looking normal, if you're a regular type of guy, and you look like you ain't got no money, your level of interest in women is going to decline. And we accept that. We deal with it. But women don't really deal with that very well, do they?
No. And what they got to realize is, and I found this out over the weekend, a friend of mine, the ones who look like they ain't got nothing are the ones that have absolutely a lot. It ain't the ones with the flashy stuff all the time necessarily. Either they're really wealthy. A lot of dudes are just flashy, man. Some dudes just not flashy like that because they specifically don't want to attract the wrong type of person. They don't. If they know you about the money, then you know what I'm saying, they're gonna hit you up for the money. Now, the old adage is, it ain't tricking if you got it.
And some men are like that. We can get into that. Joni says the one incongruency with her big SAT words, the one incongruency is that if she is a 6-figure woman, she may be looking for someone that she doesn't have to take care of. I don't think that young woman was taking that perspective. She didn't articulate that. That's correct. I mean, if she's making, let's say, $110,000, you telling me you can't work with a man that's making 75, 60? You can't work with that? That don't mean you taking care of them. That just means y'all both able to live comfortably. And she's a single parent. We didn't put that. We forgot to say that she's a single parent. You're telling me if there's a man, let's say he's you know, a basketball coach or something like that. You know, he worked, you know, with another type of job. So he's able to take care of himself. He does well, but he's not making six figures. But he's a great role model for your son. You telling me you ain't gonna give him the time of day? Like that's where it turns men off, and he didn't have no problem checking her. He was polite at first, but after a while, it's like, bitch, you dumb. Because like you ain't even thinking about all these other things that matter in your life besides a man having six figures.
Yeah, I guess I'm jaded to a point, but I don't. If you with me for my money, I heard it, the old adage of romance without finance is a nuisance, and all, but all of this, you just want my money. Like, what would it make a man want to get married if we know up front all you want is our money? Like, okay, if the money gone and my leg hurt, are you gonna help me? You know what I'm saying? If I lose a limb, are you gonna be there for me? Because now the six figures ain't coming no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? So is it about the money or is it about love or what is it about? Is it about attraction? Like, is it about the vibe? I mean, okay, when you first meet somebody, you always clicking. But really, do you really meet who they are? You kind of meeting representative in the first 30 days, then you kind of settle in. But at what point will my money become your money? Old school people in successful marriages and relationships, from what I've seen, is if I make 50 and you make 100, or vice versa, it's just one pool, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. It's one pool. We pay all the bills out of that pool. If you want to put your little something to the side, as long as you ain't taking out the main house money, you have your own separate account. I have mine, and then you buy your own personal stuff that you might want, a nice shirt or something.
Yeah.
Or you might want some perfume or cologne or whatever. You got your own account for that, but you don't never take out of the house money. This is what the house bills are, and we dump it all into one thing. But the minute we get away from that and start doing all this other stuff, man, that ain't look. Now I don't trust you.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of women are putting the cart before the horse. Like, you got to establish that type of relationship that you just spoke of, where no matter what I make and no matter what you make, we want to put it together to build one big happy house. And that's where I think she's putting the cart before the horse. You're trying to find a man who already got it, instead of looking at what the relationship would be like. Because you might meet him and y'all might kick it and date for a while, but then he might decide he don't like your ass because you talking about his bread. Right. And now
you're like, okay, it's cool, but
the friendship. If you're just joining us right now, we're talking about the Kevin Samuels video that went viral. Ladies, we want to hear from you. Put your comments in the page. I got a comment right here from Kyle. I said, women need to bring more to the table than the appetite.
Right. And I get it, but I'm so disappointed in, and it's hard for the ladies. I'm gonna give them credit. Y'all fought years for rights, voting rights, to get paid fairly, and all these good things. I get it, ladies. I understand that y'all fought, but now y'all here, and it's like y'all trying to take everything. Like, my money is your money, my money is my money, and your money is my money. Like, I just can't do that. I'm sorry. If I don't get married again, I'm cool.
Tight, especially when you hear so many horror stories. Let's take Dr. Dre's divorce, for instance, where she's now asking for some crazy, incredible amount of money. She wants $2 million a month. You look at what happened when, look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had to cough up $167 million. Even though Jeff Bezos is still okay, he had to cough up half of everything. So when you look at that, you know, there's an old saying too that, you know, women control the sex, but men control the relationship. If you're trying to get us to marry you, you need to make this about as low risk as possible, because no man wants to go through that. Just because of the simple fact that when you get tired of me or whatever, or I make a mistake, now here you want to take half. And this is the type of woman, she's put this out into the atmosphere now. It's going to be even harder for her to find somebody, because now a lot of men think she's all about the money, and she's already got a kid. She's 35. You know what I'm saying? You meet a man, you know, are you even going to be able to give him a family? Like, what really are you bringing to the table besides the fact that you make money? Because men don't care about how much money you make, especially if we already got our own. We don't care.
Yeah, what else?
The history. 50 years ago, men were the breadwinners, period. Women stayed home. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, Jody, because that's what we're still dealing with. Women have, like you said, they've made a lot of advancements, and they're now the dominant force in the workforce. They might not have caught up with equal pay, but there are more of them in the workforce now than ever before. And so now, but they still want that, not all, obviously, but they still want that old school tradition feeling of having a man who can take care of everything, and they just let they money stack. That ain't right. If you're gonna be about equal, then okay, what you bring to the table should be commended. You know, you have accomplishments, that's great, but that doesn't mean you can't deal with a man who has less, because it's perfectly fine when a man who has more deals with a woman who has less, because that's historically acceptable. But if you're a woman and you have more, especially you ain't already got a dude, you starting out here fresh, you can't now limit your pool even more by saying, okay, he got to have this in order for me to deal with him. Because like I said, you're talking about a lot of guys out there who might be in that 60 to 90 range. You telling me you can't deal with them because they making less than you? That's absurd.
But what dude is gonna let you go ahead? I can't even see it.
It's not all ladies. Women who are about their business don't care about your wallet. They can get their own. Truly ambitious women actually balance the liability of a relationship to their business. That's a good point, but we ain't talking about them women. We talking about this goofy.
Yeah, we talking about those ones that's trying to get a 6-figure man, and they single with 2 kids and own a pet grooming store. Yeah, and used to be a stripper. I don't know. I'm just playing. She said she got a great body. She said she had a great body, but an average face. Yeah. And all the guy was telling her was, and that's what I think the women, y'all still missing it. The 6-figure dudes is not checking for a 6-figure chick.
No,
they're just not. They're
that's
trying
not
to get the young
requirement for us. If a man is doing well in his life, how much money you make, what your education is, we don't care about that. That might be a big issue for women because historically that's something that they've been, programmed to value. But for men, we don't care. We want to know, are you going to keep the peace with me? We're going to know, are you going to be cooperative? We're going to know, are you going to be a freak in the sheets? We want to know if you're going to get along with our parents. You know what I'm saying? We want to know what kind of mother you're going to be. We care about that stuff, believe it or not, before we even think about, okay, how much money she bringing to the table. Because most men ain't gold diggers like that.
No, not at all. And if you look back at it historically, where the dudes have made more money, they have typically married a younger woman. And does it always work out? No. But for the most part, they still old school mentality of, I want a woman who's going to sit there, like you say, cook and clean, stay at home, take care of the kids. And what I'm thinking about is, while we're talking about this story, is Deion Sanders' second wife, not Cece, but Pilar. Is it Pilar?
Yeah, they got divorced though, right? He's with Tracy.
Right, but he got like 3 or 4 kids from her.
Yeah.
Right, she just sat home on the ranch for the most part. She does stuff now, but she's a gorgeous lady, but very pretty. But she had to keep house for the most part. He kept her hemmed up in the house. She probably went some places with him, but for the most part, you never really saw Pilar until they kind of got divorced. You saw her every now and then on the TV show.
Yeah.
But she just kind of raised the kids. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what 6-figure dudes is, not checking for 35, 45-year-old women like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of chill. And I think that's where the cougar thing came from. Because older dudes kind of like, So you blessed if you get a 50-year-old man or 45-year-old man and he holler at you and you 45 or 40.
Yeah.
Because generally that's a man realizing he in his prime, his late prime, his second prime, because your first prime in your 20s, second prime in your 40s. Yeah. And he like, well, I want somebody that's more mature because I don't have a conversation for a 25-year-old. What I have found out is the younger women still want to go out and hang out and go to happy hour and all of that. So you have to be a man that's active and keeping that 25, 30-year-old mind occupied. Because 45 want to go to church. She want to hang out a little bit with the girls, but now she realized I can't drink all of that no more. I ain't built like that no more. You can't compete in the club if you're 45.
Another thing that I thought was interesting, she's in North Carolina. She stated she's in North Carolina. And I think that would make it harder for her being in a smaller city.
She's in Charlotte, though.
It might be Charlotte, but still, how many black men in Charlotte, North Carolina are making $100,000 or more who don't already have a wife or who don't have a pick of women who are probably more attractive?
Why would you get married?
Probably don't have kids, probably younger. So that's what he was trying to get her to understand, and she just was very resistant to it. She really wanted him to tell her how this happens. I can do this. Like, what's the trick? And he's like, man, there ain't no trick. It ain't no
trick. That's it. Kabam. All
Naima
right.
Dow, she says, yes, there are more men that are gold diggers now. I'll put emphasis on now.
Uh-huh.
They not direct with it. Men will ask you for the money if they assume you have it. Hmm.
In a relationship or in a friendship? Because I know Naima,
Yeah,
and I
expand on
definitely
that, Naima, because are you saying that are they asking you what you do, or they just asking you how much money you make per year? Just you got to
yeah,
expand on that. I haven't really heard a lot of that.
that's good. That's a good one though.
And he says, not a bunch. Charlotte is booed up city. Folks come with their partner. Yeah, I hear Charlotte's a very transient city. I mean, I didn't look this woman up on LinkedIn, but I would assume
Yeah.
if she's looking for six figures, she's not in Boom Shakalaka, North Carolina, or whatever she is.
If she's making six figures, she got to be in a larger city.
She got
She
to
could
be in
be
a
in
larger
Raleigh.
city, right?
She could be in Raleigh. She could be in Charlotte, Winston Salem. Oh,
Man,
both. She says
well,
both in a relationship or not. I got you. And I guess in a way,
people
I'm
don't ask, they make an
yeah.
assumption. Okay. So okay, that's a great pivot to the topic. So then now, is that, so since it's, women tend to do that, like I say, they put a status or they put a list on. So now is it okay for men to do that as well? Because women have caught up in caught up more so than they were in the past as far as where they are in the workplace and how they're starting more businesses. It's been stated in the media that Black women are the highest rising and starting businesses and employment and income. So is things shifting that, and is that okay? Is, like, for me,
Be a gold digging
I don't
dude.
know. I'm kind of, we're in our 40s. We're not. I've
Yeah.
never asked a woman that I was dating or pursuing, and it's been a while. Obviously, I've been locked up for a while, but
Hey, well,
I never was
go ahead.
like, oh, what do you do? How much money do you make? And then started plotting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Okay.
not.
Let me ask you this then, because I have not. No, I haven't. But I have done this. I've done this. Like you have a friend or somebody you dating, you be like, "Hey, I need to borrow $75. Is
Okay.
that gold? You not? Is that gold digging, or is that? I know my friend got it. Let me ask her, and then
Yeah.
you pay her back. Or if you constantly borrowing money, like you can never get your shit together, is that the problem? Or is he specifically trying to just get bread every time he see you? He's trying to make you pay for everything, make you do everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably, it's probably men out there that's just sitting on the couch, ain't got no hustle.
Oh,
They want women to buy them PS5s and
who got time to play PS5? I guess I'm like, I'm a different animal. I got comedian buddies that travel with their Xbox and all of that. I'm like, man, I ain't, because you free during the day till you get to the comedy club at night, but I don't play no damn video game. I'm grown
yeah,
as hell.
yeah,
Anyway, um, I'm sorry for all the video game people out there, but that ain't my thing. And so it's your thing. It's cool.
yeah,
I do see this though, Essex. I've seen the dude drop the girl off with her car at job and go and ride around the city and burn up all the gas. As soon
yeah,
as she get off, he asks her for some gas money and do the same thing again the next day.
yeah. But see, I don't think old girl was a gold digger. I
No.
think she was just one of these women who she's probably had some poor experiences with men. She's probably had some deadbeat guys. She's probably had some guys that didn't have any ambition. And
Mhm.
so her reaction to that is to now put that requirement up here,
Mhm.
even above character and having a compatible relationship, a role model for her son. And I think that's just maybe her reactions to not finding what she wants. And so now she thinks that that's the key to having a happy life. Like, even if I'm not going to have the guy that I'm in love with, at least he can pay my bills.
Yeah. Let me hit you with this. I got hit what's today? Sunday. I got hit Friday afternoon.
Play PS5.
I got time to play. Yeah, you sitting at home chilling. Uh I have video games. Okay, good for y'all. Good for y'all. I'm sorry. I'm my hands too big. I can't do them. If it ain't ColecoVision, I can't. Atari, I'm lost. I ain't see Mike Tyson Punch Out. If it ain't that, I can't do it. But I will say this. I had a conversation to your point with a six-figure friend of mine Friday. He said, now that I'm on TV, you have to do things different. Everybody you come with, you can't go with.
Mhm.
So And I started thinking about that. He said, "You're gonna be calling me back in a couple weeks because there's gonna be people that feel like you're doing a lot better now, and they can hit you up for different things." He said, "Your friends finna change. Watch what I tell you, and your attitude will change. Don't get frustrated with them. They just, they don't know no better. They're not on the same level."
Mm.
So what I'm thinking about with the young lady in North Carolina is what happened was she's in an area where she makes these six figures. She didn't change her. The guy said she had been making six figures for 3 years, but she didn't change her surroundings.
Mm.
She's still doing the same thing in the same
Mm.
market, going to the same clubs, I'm sure, doing the
Mm.
same things that you did before, when really your life has changed now. You have to change with it. Just like getting married. You can't do the same things you did when you were young, when you were single, because those are single people things. So
Yeah.
none of that stuff fit anymore. So
Yeah.
people that's trying to hold on to their singlehood when they married and wonder why you're married so rocky, because that's a whole other lifestyle. You have to adapt and change. Not that you lose all your friends, you just don't spend time with your friends as much, because now you have a family to spend time with now.
Yeah.
And you should share that, because you agreed between this other person and God that your commitment was to them. So people that don't do that always find trouble.
Man,
Her mindset never changed.
that's a great point, man. Poppy says, yeah, her mindset never changed. And that's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've told women in a different context, not necessarily with the income context, but women who are struggling to find compatible mates. You got to change your strategy, like you said, about how you go about putting yourself in position to meet the type
Mm.
of men that you want to deal with. You can't, like you say, you can't keep going to the same little clubs, little
Juke
rapid
joint.
happy hours, the same little thing. Just because you think that's where they might be, that's probably not where they at. Because if they,
Yeah.
like you said, if he's making six figures, he's probably a guy who's 35 and up. We're not going to the same old stuff. You got to go to these professional environments. You got to go probably join like a professional network. Go to the
Mm-hmm.
Chamber of Commerce. Go to
Mm-hmm.
cigar bars. You know what I'm saying? Country
Mm-hmm.
clubs. You got to get out of your whole normal little routine
Mm-hmm.
to put
Mm-hmm.
yourself in a position to meet these.
Right.
And that's probably, maybe that's the advice she was looking for. And old boy, he was just being like, nah, bitch, it ain't gonna
It's
happen.
you. It's you. Look at your face. You're average about the face. You're so average. Yeah, he
Oh,
was thinking.
and you know what? He's the guy. I did watch another one of his thing. He's a divorced guy who had stepkids that didn't like him. So that's probably why he said, nah, he would never deal with a single mother again. Probably because
Right.
he's been burnt. So he gave her burnt ass advice.
Yeah, he
Like,
gave her the old French
don't
fry.
nobody want you. Don't nobody with no money want you.
Yeah, you have to be mindful of that. A lot of cats is jaded. People was like, "Oh man, you got divorced. You can't date nobody for such and such." Well, no, that's not necessarily true.
Yeah,
But I think everybody has their breaking point. I think everybody vibe and energy is different. If you
yeah,
find somebody you kind of vibe with, then you want to go ahead and see if you can make it work with them, man, and just be cool. But definitely start out as friends. But if you show yourself to be a little shady, always about the money in the
yeah.
beginning, mm, bro, I'm gonna tell you
Nobody.
something. I remember being homeless. I was sleeping on my barber couch, chasing comedy.
Yeah,
Homeless dog,
yeah,
and had three girlfriends. Homeless, staying on this dude's couch, and they was coming. So it's all about your conversation. It's all about your personality.
yeah,
They knew I was staying on this dude's couch.
yeah.
He couldn't believe it. He's like, bro, I don't know how you doing this. And all three of the ladies knew about each other.
Oh, you was couch
No,
pimping.
I know it, but see, but that everybody look at it different. You looking couch pimping, that's funny. Everybody looking at it like pimping. I'm like, no, man, I was in survival mode. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And so the one friend, she had a car and she could help me get around. I could use her car. Another friend cooked all the time. And the other one was, between the sheets. I wasn't sleeping with all of them, but I was definitely dating all three of
Yeah. So
them.
before we start to wrap this up, let's look at how she ranked herself, right? So, and I like how he was smart. He did this very smart way. He asked her to rank herself between 1 and 10 without using 7,
Uh-huh.
and she called her own self a 5.
Right.
And then that's when he kind of like was like, "Hey, well, I mean, how you gonna be a 5?
Yeah.
And if you think you a 5,
Right.
expect to get a man who probably can afford to date
Yeah.
or even marry 8, 9s, and 10s. So that was a critical piece, probably, that a lot of people glanced over. A lot of people were taking it like he totally disrespected her and put her down. She put her own self as a 5. She's average. That's average.
He's definitely average. I missed
So
that. He said you can't use women.
Can an average woman actually fix her mouth to say, I need a man that makes this amount of money first, before even talking about the things we talked about before: chemistry, compatibility, role model for your kid. Like, that's where, to me, she's put her own self out there. Because now you smart enough to make 6 figures, but you ain't smart enough to figure that this is a dumbass question.
But to me, like, and a friend of mine told me this within the last 3 months. She said she's dated broken men, she's dated broke men, and she's dated broken men. And she would rather just date a broke man, because you can get him money and his attitude will change. He'll get right back to where he was. He was just down on his luck. But when you already broken, it's hard to bring all of that back. So if you just broke, ladies, you can find a $20,000 man and make him a 6-figure guy, if that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? If that's your whole requirement in the man, then talk to him and ask him what his goals and aspirations. He might want to be a 6-figure guy. He might be a couple of good answers away, a couple of good questions, a couple of little help, one loan. You never know. He might have a great business idea. Get us $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 dude a chance.
Yeah, Pavi says, I don't feel bad for her at all. What's up, Pavi? That's what I'm talking about. She set herself up for the whole thing. I watched the whole video before she got out, and she knew how he gave advice.
Oh, yeah. He definitely was direct.
Like I say, I laughed my ass off when I first saw it, but that's kind of nigga I am. But you can't just come up here. You can't go on a man's show, because if you call a person show, you know what the show's about. And we talked about it earlier in case you just joined him. He clowned the dude real hard about being a fat dude and not making no money. Yeah. He was harder on the dude than he was her.
And that's what hurt.
And keep it a buck. So when you come on a show like this, like, you can't. Hey,
tell him, is it Kevin?
I'm a 5. I'm 35. I got a kid. Why I can't get Mr. Goddamn $100,000?
He said, well, here's one reason. What do you rank yourself 1 to 10 without using 7? And she said 5. He said
5. She didn't even go for 6. She didn't even go for 6. So I guess, people always like to be all sympathetic about it. So, maybe somebody could say she's a low self-esteem. I think I got
you make 6 figures, you can't have low self-esteem.
She's not an attractive woman. I mean, somebody would.
She was fine. She just wasn't cute, but she was fine.
Let me see if I can share the screen right there. There she go right there. I'm playing a little bit right quick. Hold
on. Yeah, you gotta blow it up, huh?
Is what I'm realizing. And ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. They're trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask a question?
Did you
hear? Can I ask you a question? Wait.
No.
Hear what I said. He stung her, but she asked for it, though.
She asked for it, man. And she kept asking for it. She should have just been like, okay, thank you, Mr. Samuels. You have a good night.
Nate Robinson all over again.
Tony said, yeah, it also says something about a woman that ranks herself a 5. Yeah, like, look, I done met some 3s and 4s that would at least call themselves a 6. Just on GP. Just on general principle.
You're never a 5.
You got to believe it for somebody else gonna believe it.
Even a 5 won't say I'm a 5. You know what I'm saying?
So okay, let's play devil's advocate here for a minute. Then we'll wrap up. We're going long, but hey, we got a lot of people in here. We got commenting. We're having a good time. So we're gonna go ahead and ride this thing out. So, and I'm gonna put this in you because you're a single dude. You know what I'm saying? You've had various levels of success. whether you make 100,000 or not, you're pretty successful with ladies. If you get to a point where you're making X amount of money, however, whatever your goal is,
right?
Will you change the type of women that you deal with?
Because of the way I built my circle, probably not.
Okay.
But I will be open because I built my circle with successful ladies as friends. Like somebody that can, if I had a question, they can help me. What's John saying?
He said, I'm saying if you can't cheer for your own, I'm going to say that's a cat, so your own pussy, who else going to do it? She played herself now.
She did play herself. I see it all the time. Essex, back to your question, will I change when the money?
My dog say 5 out of 10 is 50%. That's an F on the test.
Kyle, stupid. I can see why guys do change. Because you have to have somebody with the mindset of we are here now.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of people, man, that even helped me to get to this level, bro. Like,
yeah.
So I can't like turn my back on. Like, I'm gonna always have some friends that's in my life. I'm gonna always have it because they helped me get here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would be foolish for me to turn my back on them now because I'm on TV. Yeah. I think that we all want to, as you know, as the new, if I'm a new 6-figure guy in a year, we all want to ride foreign one time. You know what I'm saying? We gonna ride foreign one time now before you get locked back down. You can call it what you want. You can call me shady. You can say he tripping, he sold out. I'm gonna ride foreign one time though. Yeah. Then I'm gonna come back to the sisters. Yeah. And we'll see. I don't know, man. Right now I'm just like, I'm totally not in even a mode. I'm in work mode. I'm not even like getting too serious with nothing. Like everybody I meet is cool. I still got older friends that's cool. So I'm not even like on that vibe of how serious can I get with somebody. Yeah. Because I'm focused on the gig. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But once things settle down, who knows, bro? I just feel like I know what you're thinking. Like the NBA people always go get the new chick and she take half his money. And she gorgeous now, don't get me wrong. She from Iceland with a pretty face and the cold skin. But
it depends. Yeah, I think it really comes down to how you was raised and what you value. You know, me personally, I was never a big flashy guy. I always, because of the women I think I had in my family, I always I love a pretty woman, but if she ain't got no substance to her, if she can't bring nothing to the table, if she just good for arm candy, I don't need her. That's just not how I was kind of brought up, even from the male perspective and the female perspective. Because even like my mom and my cousins, my sister, they was always like, get you a woman that brings something to the table. You know what I'm saying? Get you a woman that's, down to earth, that's real about herself. And that's pretty much reflected in how I'm married. You know what I'm saying? So, even if I was single and making a certain money, if she's a 10 and she's got substance and, she's down to build her own and not just looking, I work with her. I mean, who wouldn't do that? But, you know what I'm saying? She got to be a real one. You know what I'm saying? And that to me, nobody would begrudge a woman for wanting a guy that is on his grind and has goals and ambitions. That's absolutely acceptable. But when you put a dollar amount on it before you put all this other stuff, and you're in North Carolina and you're a single parent, like, be smart enough to shift your thinking. Be smart enough to be like, man, look, I don't get me just a real dude that can help me with my kid. He can have his own. I got my own. If we get to that point where we're in love and we got this solid foundation of a relationship, we'll take what I got and take what he got and we'll make it work. You know what I'm saying? I pay the mortgage, he pay everything else. You just make the thing work however it works because life is short. And his final line to her after he got fed up and pissed off was, "You're going to die alone." And who the hell wants to die alone, man? Come on now.
Tough. That's tough, bro.
Hey, give me love before money any day. Boy, I wish I had a sound effect for a salute horn or something. That's what it's about right there.
Yes. Thank you, man. It's finally still some good women out there. That's what's up.
Yes, sir. Man, this is a good show, man. I knew this was going to be a good show, man. We got to call. I'm going to send Kevin Samuels a message. It's like, hey, man, you inspired us a real good show tonight.
Absolutely. He struck some nerves. Hey, man, appreciate the love, man. I'll definitely see you soon. Hey, thank you guys for listening in, man. And I'm Type Mike.
Tell them where they can find you.
Type Mike Comedy on all your social media. And Michael Type Mike Randolph. Holla at me.
Hold on, we got one more comment. He say, dude was spitting all facts, but I had 2 issues with the dude. One, he stayed in the shadow. As a man, if you delivered a tough message, stand behind your word. If you go and watch some of his other stuff, he changes his look up quite a bit, John. So he's got some stuff where he's in the light, but that is funny. The girl at least had the courage to show her face, even though she knew she was going to get dragged. Also, this nigga show was like 2.5 hours. And we don't do that here in Acting Funny. We get in and out. We're way past time, to be honest with you. Yeah. But that's only because we have such a good time. And we got y'all in the comments having a good time with us. So we enjoy that type of stuff. We want y'all to keep coming back. You know what I'm saying? Let us know in the comments what type of stuff you like to talk about. I'm Actor Essex O'Brien. You can find me at Essex O'Brien on Facebook and Twitter, and at Actorman Essex on Instagram. Anything else you got, man? I know you're going for your second week.
Second week, man. Yeah, next weekend, December the 19th. It's in a couple weeks.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll make sure we get that poster up next week so we can plug.
Yeah, and then we got. I'll be at Chantel's on the 18th. I'm doing a little.
Chantel's on the 18th. That's what's up.
Yeah. Then that'll be it for the year.
Yeah, man. We're coming down to the end of 2020, brothers. We started a nice little show here, and we're gonna keep building and grinding. So we appreciate y'all. Come join us next week, 9 p.m. Hopefully, we have some more even riveting topics to discuss.